Hello students, welcome to the online class on business studies and management. Today we will discuss on an interesting topic, that is business environment. You know that environment is the surrounding in which we live. It has a great bearing on our lifestyle. Plants, animals, hills, mountains, rivers, oceans, all these surround us and affect our our activities. Our day to day life is affected by our environment. Similarly, business as a man made institution functions in an environment, in a surrounding, which is known as business environment. You know that the basic objective of business is to make profit, and the basic function of business is production and distribution of goods and services. Production of goods and services, the production activities of business are affected by many factors, like it depends on availability of materials, manpower, machinery, technology. All these input factors affect business production activities of business. Similarly, the distribution or marketing aspects of business are affected by demand of the customers, existence of competitors, and so many factors. So, the production and distribution activities of a business are affected by a great many number of factors. Similarly, the establishment of business is affected by the prevailing laws of the land and many other factors. All these factors taken together, which affect production and distribution activities of business, constitute business environment. So, see what is business environment. So, today's topic is business environment. In this topic, we will discuss about meaning, characteristics, importance and dimensions of business environment. Environment simply means the surrounding in which we live. It comprises of all those factors, all those forces which affect our lifestyle. Business environment means it is the surrounding in which a particular business enterprise exists and functions, means production and distribution activities of business are undertaken within a surrounding which is known as business environment. You can go through your book for definitions. I have given here two definitions given by B. O. Wheeler and A. M. Wimmer. You can refer to your book, you can go through your book for other definitions. Now, we may capitulate in a sentence. The comprehensive meaning of the business environment can be given in one sentence like this: business environment may be defined as the aggregate of all possible forces, factors, circumstances, events, situations which may exist or occur inside of a particular business or outside of it. The factors which are present inside the business are called internal factors, and the factors which prevail, which exist, which occur outside of business, these are called external factors, and these factors have collective impact on the functioning of the business. Some of these factors may be favorable, they may bring opportunities for the business, while other factors may bring some threats, may bring some obstacles in the way of production and distribution of goods and services. So, some bring favorable situations, some factors bring unfavorable situations, and these factors may affect business directly and some factors may affect business indirectly. And these factors, some of these factors are within the control of management, some of these factors are not within the control of management, they are beyond the control of management. So, we will discuss in detail. So, you see the total business environment can be shown, can be depicted in the form of a diagram like this. It can be divided in three broad categories. The first one, the central part, that is which is in diagram it is given in green color, the square, the rectangle, that is internal environment. Then the blue part, the oval shaded blue, that depicts the immediate external environment, or that is called micro environment, and the outer part which is shaded red, that depicts the distant external environment, or you can say the macro environment. So, these are the three broad divisions of business environment. We will discuss in detail what are the different elements present in all these three divisions subsequently while discussing about dimensions of business environment. Now let us see what are the characteristics of business environment. So, characteristics or features of business environment. Number 1, aggregative in nature. Business environment comprises of many factors, many forces, many situations, many events. A single factor cannot be called business environment. All these factors have collective impact on business activities. So, all these factors taken together constitute business environment. So, when we are going to deal with business environment, when we are going to take some decisions, managerial decisions for business, production decision, marketing decision, we will not consider only one factor of environment, rather we will take into account all the factors that constitute the environment of our business. So, business environment is aggregative in nature, it comprises of several factors, many factors, and we have to take into account all the factors at a time. Internal as well as external factors. The business environment can be either internal factors means those factors, those forces, those events which occur inside of a business, inside the premises of a business, and external factors means those factors which prevail outside of it. We will go in detail in while discussing about dimensions of business environment. So, next specific and general forces. There are certain factors, certain forces which are specific to a business organization, that means they have direct impact on our business, like competitors, customers, our production capacity, our suppliers of raw materials, suppliers of machinery, all these factors have direct impact on our business. Whereas, there are certain other factors, general factors which do not affect our business directly, they have impact on our business, but in a general way, that these factors affect not only our business, but these factors have an impact, has an effect on all over all the businesses of similar nature. So, these are general factors, they affect business indirectly. Then number 4, indicative of strength and weaknesses. The factors that constitute internal environment, they indicate our strength. Some of the factors indicate our strength, like our production capacity, our labor capacity, our availability of raw materials, all these things are internal factors, they show our strength, whereas certain other factors are there which show our weaknesses. Suppose our production capacity is very less, we cannot meet the growing demand in market unless and until we increase our production capacity. This is our weak point, or we are financially not sound, we cannot invest much more money in buying some new machineries. So, we cannot increase our production capacity, that is suppose that is one of the examples of our weaknesses. So, indicate the study of internal environment shows us the strength and weaknesses of our enterprise. Similarly, provides both opportunities and threats. Opportunities are the favorable situations and threats are the unfavorable situations. Study of internal environment, the factors constituting internal environment, they provide us information about opportunities as well as threats. Then number 6, interrelatedness. There are several factors, there are many factors which constitute business environment. All these factors are interrelated. For example, suppose you can take the example of increase in price of petrol or diesel, increase in price of fuel has an impact on demand for vehicles. So, there is an interrelatedness between these two factors, sale of vehicles and price of fuel, these two are interrelated. Similarly, there are many other factors which are interrelated with each other, one factor affects the other factor. Then they are also interdependent. Economic policy of a country depends on the political situation. So, if the government changes, the economic policies may change. So, the existence of the existing economic policy, the prevailing economic policy may undergo change if the government changes. So, they are interdependent. Dynamic nature. Number 7, the dynamic nature. Business environment factors are dynamic, they are not static. The taste of consumer, the need of the consumer, the buying capacity of the consumer, income of the consumer, all these factors undergo changes, they do not remain static, they do not remain constant. The need of the consumer today will not remain same tomorrow, it will go on changing. So, environmental factors, those factors which constitute our environment, they undergo changes continuously, these factors always change. Uncertainty. Number 8, uncertainty. Business environment is highly uncertain, because we are planning for future is highly uncertain, and where there is uncertainty there is risk. We cannot say what will happen tomorrow, but we are making a guess, we are making a estimation of future, we are making a projection for future. These projections, these estimations, this forecasting may be right or wrong, we cannot say, because future is highly uncertain. So, business environment is highly uncertain, and that is why it is very difficult to predict future, what will happen in future. Then complexity. Number 9, complexity. Business environment is highly complex in nature. Why? Because there are many factors which contribute business environment, and all these factors are interrelated, interdependent, and they are also dynamic, they are also volatile, they change, continuously keep on changing. That is why business environment is highly complex. Number 10, relativity. Business environment is a relative concept. It differs from country to country, it differs from person to person. The same business environment do not affect two businesses equally, because it is relative, it is not a it is not an absolute concept, it is a relative concept. Business environment is a relative concept. The same business environment may affect two businesses in a different way. So, these are the characteristics of business. Then importance of business environment, promoting proactive action. Why? What is the importance of knowing business environment? Because unless and until we know our environment, we cannot make appropriate plans and policies for our business. So, knowing of environment is of utmost importance for the management of an organization, because we can make effective plans and policies for future. So, promoting proactive action, number 1. Here study of internal environment gives us information about the strength and about the weaknesses. We can harness our strength, we can take benefit of the strength of our organization for appropriate planning and policy formulation. Similarly, we can, if we find that there are certain weaknesses, we will take steps, appropriate steps to remove the weaknesses. Then identifying opportunities and getting fast mover advantages. So, number second point, identifying opportunities and getting fast mover advantage. That is, what is the meaning of fast mover advantage? Suppose opportunity comes once, unless we take advantage of the benefit of the opportunity immediately, it may go to the hands of competitors. So, when opportunity comes, we should grab it fast. Those who grab the opportunity first, they become the winners. So, it is the duty of the management to take benefit of the opportunity at an early stage, that is called fast mover advantage. Identifying threats and getting early warning signal. If some threats are coming in the way, if it is predicted by management that some threats are coming to our business, then management can take appropriate strategy, management can adopt appropriate strategy to fight the threat, to remove or to reduce the impact of threat on the business. Then assisting planning and policy formulation. Study of business environment helps in formulating plans and policies for the organization, formulating long term strategy on the basis of long term financial planning, long term economic policy framed by government. Management can formulate long term planning and strategy. Understanding the market conditions. Study of environment helps the management understanding market conditions appropriately. What is the prevailing demand in market? What is the need of the customer? What is their choice? What is their fashion? What is the existence of competitor? To what extent the competitors have captured the market, and what are the possibility of potential competitors that they may enter into the market? All these things, all these information can be well understood in advance by the management if it keeps vigilant eye on the environment. Similarly, understanding the implications of economic policies. The economic policies of a country is framed by government of India, and if government is going to frame certain new economic policies, then if you keep vigilant eye, if you keep constant watch on the environment, we can know what are the likely changes that are to be going to take place in environment, in economic policies of the government. Accordingly, we can be ready to adapt ourselves to the changing environment, because we have to adapt ourselves to the changing environment. We cannot change the environment, we cannot, we have no control, little control over the environment. We cannot check, we cannot prevent, we cannot stop government to take certain policy decisions. Government will take decisions independently, but we have to adapt itself, we have to adapt our business, our plans and policies in accordance with the needs of the government, in accordance with the policies of the government. So, number 8, understanding the socio-economic conditions. What is the socio-economic conditions of the customers, what is the income, what is their destiny, what is their need, what is their choice, what is their buying habit, all these things can be understood if we study the environment. Understanding the political conditions, what is the present constitutional framework, what is party system, what is the election procedure, what is the stability of government, whether the government is stable or not, what is the foreign policy of the government, all these things can be understood better if we keep vigilant eye on the environment. Then understanding the technological development, what are the recent technology development, watch on environment, we can know in advance what are the likely changes that are going to take place in environment. Coping with rapid changes, we can cope with changes in environment if we keep watch on environment. Identifying areas needing control, what are the areas which needs control and urgent attention of the government, we can also identify it. Number 13, facilitating research and development process. Number 14, customer focus. So, we can give attention on the customers. Similarly, what is the need of the customers? If we have kept constant eye on the environment, we can better satisfy the customers. This is all about the importance of business environment. Next, we will discuss dimensions of business environment. Then number 15, the importance of business environment continues. Promoting public image and business goodwill. By keeping continuous watch on the environment, by studying the environment, the management can create goodwill of the business. Management can create public image in the minds of the customers, minds of the general public. So, that it will create a good impression in the minds of the public. The demand for the product will increase, the business will grow. Number 16, creating a tension free atmosphere. If we study the environment continuously, we can adapt ourselves appropriately to the changing needs of the society, changing needs of the government, changing needs of the general public. Since everything is changing, we have to change ourselves, we have to change our plans, we have to change our policies, we have to change our strategies, so that we are sure what are going to happen. We are even though not 100% sure, but we are almost sure what are going to happen. Accordingly, we can create a tension free atmosphere, a free atmosphere, free from anxiety, free from tension. So, that everybody feels secure that yes, our organization is doing well and we are in right path, there is no obstacle in way of progress. So, this is all about the importance of business environment. You see, what is the need, what is the need or importance of studying business environment? We have already seen what is environment, what is business environment, what are the characteristics of business environment, what are the importance of business, but what is the need of studying business environment? I am again giving some examples, so that it will be very clear for you. You see, you might have heard about the dinosaur. Once upon a time, millions of years ago, a huge animal, very big sized animal, that is dinosaur, was there on earth, but it became extinct. Why? Because it could not adapt itself to the changing circumstance, changing environment. So, we cannot change the environment, rather we have to change ourselves, we have to change our policies, we have to change our plans, we have to change our strategies, so that we can survive. So, survival of business is of utmost importance for every management, how the business can survive in the long run. But there are many obstacles in the way. Competitors will come, new products will come, they will capture our market, the customers may get fed up using the same product again and again. So, we have to innovate our product, we have to modify our product. Similarly, when the competitors are coming to market, if it is it can be predicted that some competitors are entering into the market in the line in which we are doing business. In that situation, what we will do? We will change our strategies. For example, in 80s, 1980s, in that period, Maruti Udyog Limited, the management of Maruti Udyog Limited predicted that some competitors are coming in the field of small cars. So, at that time what happened, the customers had to wait to get a four wheeler. They will pay some advance and they will have to wait till the product comes. It was around 2 years or more than that, the waiting period was there. Guessing that at that time the middle class people in India was very large, to satisfy their needs instantly, what happened? The Maruti Udyog Limited increased the production of steam car threefold. So, as a result, as and when people book their car, they could get delivery immediately. So, immediate delivery of goods was possible on the part of Maruti Udyog by increasing the existing production strength. So, unless and until we do not study the environment, we do not keep watch on the environment, we cannot know the environment, how can we make plans appropriately? So, in order to fight the competitors, in order to maintain our market demand, in order to satisfy the customers, it is of utmost important for a management to study the environment continuously, to keep watch on the environment continuously, so that we can formulate, the management can formulate appropriate plans, policies, strategies, and it can survive in the long run. So, this is all about meaning, characteristics and importance. So, I think we have understood in detail. In the next episode, we will discuss about the dimensions of business environment, which we will discuss after this session. That is, here we have seen in this diagram, again I am repeating this diagram. Here there are 3 divisions, the inner part, the innermost part, which is in rectangular form, which is shaded green. This shows you the internal environment, like what are the factors present inside the business, what is their impact on business activities, what is their impact on production activities, what is their impact on distribution or marketing activities, that is internal environment. Then this part is surrounded by a green patch, sorry blue patch that is within the close vicinity of the internal part, that is immediate external environment, or you can say micro environment. And there are what are the different factors, what are the different elements present in this part, we will see while discussing about dimensions of business environment. Similarly, in the uppermost part, the here in this diagram it is shaded red, that is distant external environment, or you can say macro business environment. And what are the factors present in this part, we will see at that time. So, here I have written briefly the internal environment, the situations, events, factors prevailing inside a business unit. These are more or less controllable. Micro external environment, the situations, events, factors prevailing outside the business unit, but are very close to it. These are not controllable, management cannot control them. Macro external environment, the situations, the events, the factors prevailing outside of business organization, and these are also not controllable. We have already discussed all these things. Indicator of strength, weaknesses, provides both opportunity and threats. These are all the points which we have already covered. Here also I have written given the note in the form of note, what is opportunity, what is threat, we have already given here. Opportunity refers to the positive and favorable impact on business, favorable change, favorable trend in business, and either one or more one element will change favorably, or more than one element will change favorably. They bring favorable situations, they create favorable condition for the business, and when some favorable condition is created, favorable situation is created, the management should take benefit of it immediately, because opportunity comes once, the benefit of opportunity should be grabbed very fast. Then threats refer to the negative or unfavorable trend or changes in one or more of the elements of external environment. So, changes in external environment which impose or which pose some threats, some obstacles, they are threats. These are the unfavorable situations, and these may hinder the firm's performance. Then assisting planning and policy, we have already discussed all these things. Formulating long term strategy, on the footing of long term industrial and economic policies of the government, the management of a firm is enabled to decide the direction and scope of business in the long run, that is strategy formulation. Assisting in planning and policy. Understanding the market conditions, a thorough study of external environment of business enriches the knowledge and management about the regions of increase and decrease in demand, supply, economic entry of competitors, government interferences, etc. Understanding implications of economic policies, management can understand the implications of economic policy if he studies the environment continuously. Then understanding the socio-economic conditions, understanding the political conditions, understanding the technological developments, coping with rapid changes, identifying areas needing control, facilitating research and development process. Research and development is the most important factor nowadays to be taken into account, given importance by the management, because without research, without making innovation in product, without inventing new products, we cannot keep our customers satisfied, because their choice, their taste, their fashion always changing. So, according to changes in needs, changes in the fashions, changes in the choice of the customers, we must do accordingly. Customer focus, we must give customer focus. Then promoting public image and goodwill, we will discuss creating a tension free atmosphere. So, this is all about your business environment. I think all of you have followed me correctly. Now, we will discuss about the dimensions of business environment. What is the meaning of dimension? Dimension means the scope, the coverage, the area comprising of various elements, factors circumstances, events that constitute business environment. In the previous episode, we have seen a diagrammatic form of dimensions of business environment, which depicted you, which showed you that there are three broad divisions of business environment. One is internal environment, then the second part is external environment, and there are again two different external environments. One is micro means small, which is within the close vicinity of the business enterprise, and macro business environment, or you can say distant external environment. So, we will go detail in this part. Dimensions of business environment, it means the scope or coverage of business environment, which can be broadly classified in two categories. One is internal environment, the other one is external environment. Internal environment, the factors present inside the business activities. What are the factors? What are the various factors? What are the various events, circumstances that are present inside the enterprise? These are outlined here. One, physical structure and facilities, location of business, infrastructure of business, production capacity, labor capacity, finance, human resources, research and development, marketing resources, company image and goodwill. These are the internal factors. All these factors have an impact on business activities. So, all these factors taken together constitute the internal environment. These factors have direct impact, and these factors are somehow within the control of management. Management can control, suppose for example, employees unrest. Employees have some certain demand. If management can satisfy their demand, then their unrest will be pacified. So, internal environment are more or less controllable by the management, they are within the control of management. Next comes external environment. The factors and forces existing outside of business enterprise, they constitute external environment. Again, external environment can be classified into two subcategories like micro environment and macro environment. Micro environment means, or it refers to those factors, those forces, those events, those circumstances which surround business and which are within close vicinity of the business. They are very close to business organization. These factors are micro environment, and macro environment means those factors which are outside of business enterprise, but they exist far away from the business enterprise, they are macro environment. So, now let us see in detail what is a micro environment. Micro environmental factor exist very close to business enterprise and affect the performance of the business directly and immediately. The controllability of these factors depend on the efficiency of the management. Normally these are uncontrollable, but to certain extent they can be controlled by the management by taking certain appropriate policy decisions. What are the factors? These are the factors of micro environment. First, local public, this includes general public such as environmentalists, consumer protection groups, media persons, local people of the society. They constitute the one of the elements, one of the factors of micro environment. The company has to satisfy all these people to get their favorable response. Then suppliers, suppliers here refer to those people, those organizations, those institutions which supply raw materials, which supply machineries and other parts to the organization. They must be paid in time, so that they will have good relation with the organization, and the supplies of raw materials, supplies of other items may be very smooth. Trade union here means labor union, the association of workers. Workers sometimes form associations to fight for their rights, for their benefits, for their collective bargaining, and management has to maintain a healthy relationship with the workers to gain their confidence. Number 4, customers. Customers play the core, they form the core of the micro environment, because without satisfaction of customers, the business cannot survive in the long run. So, satisfaction of customers is of utmost importance for every management to survive in the long run. Competitors, the actions, policies, strategies of the competitors affect our business to a great way, to a great extent. Normally, our marketing activities are affected by competitors. So, management should formulate appropriate strategies to fight against the competitors. Then distributors, they include agents, wholesalers and retailers. So, these are the factors of micro environment. Now, come to macro environment. The factors and forces that exist outside of business organization, but are very far away from the business organization. They are macro environment. The various components of macro environment, the various elements of macro environment are discussed here. There are 5 types. One is economic environment. Economic environment comprises of the factors like nature of economy. What is nature of economy? Such as property rights, ownership of factors of production. There are different factors of production: land, labor, capital, organization. Who are the owners of land? What is the ownership structure of factors of production? Functioning of price mechanism, role of public sector. So, these are the factors coming within the scope, within the point of nature of economy. Structure of economy, number 2 element of economic environment, structure of economy, such as pattern of capital investment, occupational distribution of labor, structural equilibrium between agriculture, industry and service. These are coming under the structure of economy. Then status of economy. What is the status, present status? What is the economic status of the country? For example, whether the country is a developed one or developing one or underdeveloped. So, stage of economic growth of the country, the speed of or the rate of growth of the economy of a country, this is coming under status of economy. Then economic policies, various economic policies formulated by government like monetary policy, industrial policy, fiscal policy. These are the different policies, economic policies. They also have great impact on our business activities. They also constitute a part of macro environment. Then economic indices. Economic indices means the different indexes like GDP, gross domestic product, net national product, per capita income, rate of savings and investment, rate of inflation. All these are the points of all these are indexes which have a bearing on the policy formulation or plans and policy formulation of management for a business. Number 2, that is political environment. This is the second most important aspect of element of macro environment. First one was economic environment, now second one is political environment. This includes the following factors: constitutional framework, political system of the country, like whether the country is a democratic one, democracy, or communism or socialism. These are all political system of a country. Then political structure, that means distribution of power among center and the states. There are 3 different lists: central list, as per our constitution there are 3 different lists: central list, state list, concurrent list. So, how the power has been distributed among center and states, that is called political structure. This also has an impact on our business. Next, political process, the party system, the funding system, the election procedure. These are all political processes which also have positive or negative impact on our business. Stability of government, whether the government is stable. Normally, a coalition government is, most of the times it is found that coalition government is not stable, but it is now for some years together we have experienced that even coalition government is giving a stable administration to the country. So, what is the stability of government? That is also have on the stability of government also has impact, great impact on our business activities. Then degree of politicization of economic and business issues, that means to what extent government is putting interference on economic activities and business activities of a country. Then foreign policy and defense policy, international relation of the government. What is the foreign policy of the government, whether the government is maintaining good relations with the foreign countries or not. What is the defense policy of the government, what is the international relation maintained by the government. All these things also have impact, positive or negative impact on our business. So, these are all political environment. Number 3, legal environment. This decides the framework within which a business is promoted and operated. Legal framework law, the different laws, rules, regulations which are formulated by government. These rules, laws, regulations, they also have great impact on the functioning of business organization. What are the various rules and roles? These are the factors. Rights and duties of citizens, this is provided in constitution. What are the rights of citizens? What are their rights? What are their duties? Labor laws like Minimum Wages Act, the Workmen's Compensation Act, these are labor laws. Business laws, licensing laws, the Contract Act, the Sales of Goods Act, Indian Partnership Act, Companies Act, Foreign Exchange Management Act, all these are business laws. Environmental pollution laws, taxation laws, these are different laws which have impact on business activities. For example, if a labor as per existing labor law, if a worker dies at workplace, the family members of the deceased worker must be duly compensated. Similarly, if a worker works overtime, the wages to be paid to him should be at the double the rate of the normally he is paid, that is called overtime premium. So, in this way there are different laws. Similarly, anti pollution laws, we must abide by the laws to prevent pollution of the environment. So, there are different laws, rules which have great bearing on the establishment of business, functioning of business. While going to establish a new business, we must abide by the existing laws, and while doing business, production and distribution activity, there also to be guided by. Similarly, export business, import business, there are also import law and export laws. So, all these business activities starting from establishment till marketing, all these business activities are directly influenced or guided by different laws of the land. This must be taken care of. Then socio-cultural environment, this comprises of all the social and cultural forces within which a business operates. The main components of social environment, cultural environment are demographic trends, size and distribution of population. What is the size of population? The total population of the country or total population of different areas. Distribution of population means the population, density of population in different areas, different states, different cities. Then age compositions, different ages, age groups, male female ratio, population growth rate, all these are coming under demographic trends. Family system and values, joint family or nuclear family, attitude of family members to go and work abroad, these are family system and values. This is another important element of socio-cultural environment. Then social and cultural values, social attitudes, customs and traditions, cultural practices and rituals, like during Holi we will there will be a heavy demand for different colors. During Eid, during Muharram, the different religious people, they will have specific demand for products because of their rituals, their traditions, their customs. So, these are all social and cultural values, they also have impact on our production and marketing activities. Social concerns regarding pollution, corruption, status of women and minorities, role of media. So, to what extent people are aware about pollution, to what extent people are aware about corruption. Now, as the literacy rate goes on increasing, they become more aware about the societal happenings, the pollution, corruption, status of women, all these are social aware, all the social awareness is created by education, and if the educational level of a particular area goes on increasing, the people become more and more aware. So, we must keep attention to that literacy and awareness levels regarding health, regarding education rights, regarding their duties, they also have great impact on business decisions. Then comes technological environment. You know that technology is changing very fast. The technology that we use today will be of least use tomorrow. That means, due to technological upgradation, the old technologies are to be abandoned and new technologies are to be adopted for our organization. Day was there when we are watching black and white TV, subsequently it was replaced by color TV. At that time we are using TFT monitors, now came LED monitors, LCD monitors. So, in this way technology is changing very fast. You see some of the examples of technology changes, like black and white TV replaced by color TV, feature phone was replaced by smartphone, technological upgradation 2G to 5G, first it was 2G, then came 3G, then came 4G, then came 5G. In this way technological upgradation are taking place, and we must have to update ourselves to the changing needs of the customers. If we do not upgrade our technology, what will happen? We will lag behind. Our products will, the demand for our product will reduce. People will not buy the products which are produced by using old and outdated technology. So, we must adopt the new technologies, the advanced technologies, so to keep the demand in market constant. So, before our technology, before our product is discarded by the customers, we must innovate, we must add some extra features to our product, so that the demand for the product will continue in the market. If we do not take benefit of, if we do not innovate our product, if we do not add extra features, new features to our product, then our product may become obsolete, our demand for our product in market may reduce, the people will switch over to other products. So, in our survival will be at stake. So, technological upgradation is an important task on the part of every business. So, these are all dimensions. I will recapitulate what we have seen. Let us have a recap on the dimensions of business environment. This is broadly divided in two parts, internal and external environment. Internal environment factors inside the business like physical structure and facilities, we have already discussed, finance, human resources, research and development, marketing resources, company image and goodwill. Then external environment, again it is divided in two parts, micro and macro. Micro environment means those factors which are present outside of business, but are very close to business. Macro environment, those factors which are present outside of business, but far away from business unit. We have already seen. Again micro environment, there are certain factors of micro environment. These are local public, the suppliers, those who supply raw materials, machinery, tools, equipments, furniture. Trade union means the association of workers, they also have impact. The management must take care of all these the demand of the association. Customers, customers is the king of the market. Always the business must give focus, due attention to the needs of the customers. They must be satisfied to their best. Then competitors, appropriate strategy have to be developed by management to keep them away from market. Distributors like agents, wholesalers and retailers, there should be a supply chain management, proper and appropriate supply chain management, so that there will be free flow of goods and services. The marketing aspect of the business is to be smooth by maintaining good relationship with the supply chain management, that is wholesalers, retailers. Macro environment, the factors which are outside of business, but far away from business. They have general impact on business, they are uncontrollable. We have already seen there are different parts, there are different or 5 different divisions of macro environment like economic environment, political environment, legal environment, technological environment, socio-cultural environment. So, economic environment, this comprises of your nature of economy, the structure of economy, status of economy, economic policies, economic indices. Then political environment, this comprises of factors like constitutional framework, political system, political structure and political process, that is party system, funding system, election procedure, stability of government, degree of politicization of economic and business issues, we have already discussed. Foreign policy of the government, defense policy of the government, international relation. Then legal environment comprising of various laws, rules and regulations like rights and duties of the duties of citizens as provided for in the constitution. Labor laws, the Minimum Wages Act, the Workmen's Compensation Act, these are different labor laws. Then business laws like licensing laws, the Contract Act, Sales of Goods Act, Indian Partnership Act, Indian Companies Act, Foreign Exchange Management Act, environmental pollution laws, taxation laws, these are all different laws which govern business activities, establishment of business, production activities, distribution activities, all these activities are affected directly and indirectly by these different laws. Then socio-cultural environment, the demographic trends, size and distribution of population, age composition, male female ratio, population growth rate, family system and values, social cultural values, social concerns, literacy and awareness levels. So, technological and we have already seen all these things. So, today we will discuss about the various factors, forces, circumstances, events that constitute together our business environment. All these factors have direct and indirect effect on business activities. Production activities are affected by certain factors, distribution of activities are affected by certain factors, even establishment of business, this is also affected by certain factors. All these factors are interrelated, interdependent, they keep on changing continuously. So, accordingly the management of a business should develop strategies, should formulate plans and policies, so that any change, any negative impact of any environment of business can be eradicated, can be removed. So, unless and until the management of business studies the environment, keeps watch on the environment, the survival of the business will be at stake. So, for long run survival of the business organization, formulation of appropriate strategy, long term strategy, formulation of plans is of utmost importance for management. Knowing business environment, why it is important? We have already seen, because in the face of cutthroat competition, we have to maintain our good rapport with the social changes, technological changes, economic changes. So, unless and until we keep watch on environment, we cannot do that. We cannot formulate appropriate strategy, we cannot formulate appropriate plans, policies. So, that if we fail to formulate appropriate plans and strategies, our business may collapse. So, for that purpose, it is very much important to study the business environment. Thank you all.